Hello my book friends, welcome back to my channel. I got a haircut, I got a dog, things are happening. Anytime I start talking, she's like, I need to be with you, mother. I need to be in your lap, in the way. Nope, come here. I do have the fan on very low. I cannot turn it off. It is hot in here. So that's gonna be on. So if you hear that noise, that's what it is. But yeah, that's gonna stay on. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I got my hair cut. I feel like a new woman. New hair, new me. That's where I'm gonna go with. Because it needed to happen. That haircut was needed. I cut like more than an inch off or something like that. And I got some bangs. I was like, okay, I feel great. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Even though we can talk about it all the time. Sorry for the lighting. It is later while I'm filming this because we've been very busy, so I film when I can. But this video is going to be really fun because I'm doing a tier ranking, that's the word, tier ranking of popular Booktok books and Booktube and Bookstagram. Ones that I've read, maybe ones I haven't read, my thoughts, opinions on some. There may be some spoilers in this. I will let you know if I'm about to give like a spoiler and you haven't read it, so you can skip on ahead. I will let you know, but I'm excited. I didn't make this list because it was confusing me, so I found the list on like Tier Maker. Someone already had one up and had a lot of the books already. That's what I used. So I'll put the person in the description who made it, so thank you for that, because I'm lazy and I was like, how do I do this? Don't want to. This is already made for me. So I'll make sure to put the person who made it down below. But before we get to that, please, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button as well as the bell to notify you when I upload. I try to upload every week unless something just crazy happens. As well as if you want to hit the like and comment. I love talking with you guys. Those really help out, and you guys can let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see. It's really helpful for me. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to the tier ranking. There's like 7 tiers. I rearranged the bottom 3, but the top tier we have, if this book has 1 fan, it's me. If this book has no fans, I am dead. Yes. That one Lady Gaga interview, if you don't know what that is, it's like fantastic, wonderful, beautiful, like she's just naming off adjectives of how amazing it is. Is it me, Jesus? Bombastic side eye. Yeah. Get Out. And when I mean Get Out, there is no way I could read it, couldn't finish it, didn't like it. It could literally get out of everywhere. Do not want to see it. TBR means I have it, haven't read it, want to read it. Pretty self-explanatory. And then Who. Basically, haven't heard of it or don't want to read it, but I don't really have any opinions about it. So that's what I have. So as you can see, big list. Big list of books. Read a lot of them. Some of them have heard about it. Some I've tried to read. Yeah. Let me try to name off some of these. George Orwell, I believe that's 1984. A Man Called Ove, All the Light We Cannot See, Animal Farm, Babel, Beach Read, Book Lovers, Bunny, Carrie Soto Is Back, Crying in H Mart, Disorientation, Gone Girl, I'm Glad My Mom Died, which is just, that title gets me every time. In 5 Years, It Ends With Us, Little Fires Everywhere, No Longer Human, Remarkably Bright Creatures, 7 Days in June, Sharp Objects, The Song of Achilles, The Island of Missing Trees, The Light We Lost, The Picture of Dorian Gray. I could not see that. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, Turtles All the Way Down, Where the Crawdads Sing, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, A Little Life, 1,000 Boy Kisses, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I'm going to take that as like the entire series. That's what I'm going to go with that one. Alone with You in the Ether, Anxious People, Archer's Voice, Bear Town, Beautiful World Where You Are, Before I Let Go, Before the Coffee Gets Cold, By a Thread, Carval. Carrie Soto's in there again. We'll ignore that one. Chain of Gold. I think that's what that one is. Circe, Conversations with Friends, Crescent City. That's one of the Jane Austens. Can't see it. Can't see which one that one is. Every Summer After, Everything I Know About Love, From Blood and Ash, Funny You Should Ask, Heartstopper, Icebreaker. Can't pronounce that one. I have no idea. In the Dream House, Know My Name, Legendborn, Lessons in Chemistry, Love in Other Words, Magnolia Parks, whatever it is. Milk Fed, My Dark Vanessa. What is that? Something Relaxation. I know what that book is, and I just can't see the title. Normal People, November 9th. On Earth We're Really Gorgeous. Once Upon a Broken Heart, Our Missing Hearts. I don't know what that one is. I can't pronounce. Couldn't tell you. People We Meet on Vacation, Pride and Prejudice. I'm guessing. I'm pretty sure that's Pride and Prejudice. Punk 57, Red, White, and Royal Blue, Reminders of Him, Rock, Paper, Scissors. A Brief History of Humankind, Scythe, I think that's how you say that. Shadow and Bone, Shatter Me. Can't talk today, you guys. Jesus. Six of Crows, The Bell Jar, The Book Thief, The Cruel Prince, The Fine Print, The Gold Finch, The Great Alone, The Guest List. I'm guessing that is The Handmaid's Tale. The Hating Game, The House in the Cerulean Sea, or On the Cerulean Sea. The Housemaid, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, The Kiss Quotient, The Love Hypothesis, The Midnight Library, The Nightingale, The Paris Apartment, Perfect Marriage, The Poppy War, The Priory of the Orange Tree, The Secret History, Selection, The Silent Patient, The Spanish Love Deception, Starless Sea, The Unhoneymooners, The Virgin Suicides, They Both Die at the End, Things We Never Got Over, This Is How You Lose the Time War, Throne of Glass, again, I'm guessing that's the entire series. That's what I'm going to go with. Tiny Beautiful Things, Twisted Love, Ugly Love, Untamed, Vicious, We Were Liars, Daisy Jones and the Six, Everything I Never Told You, that's what I'm going to go with. I can't see. And Verity. It's a fucking lot. But that is all of the tiers. That are all the books. Let's go ahead and get started. Before that was a lot of talking, so. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So first one is 1984. We read this, I'm pretty sure, in high school. We had to read this in high school. I have no opinions on this. I'm just gonna... Is it me, Jesus? That's gonna be mid for me. Yeah. I have no opinions on it. It wasn't bad. I don't remember it that well, but that's just what it is. A Man Called Ove. Never read it. Don't know if I ever will. I've heard of it. I've heard great things. All the Light That We Cannot See. This one I've heard about, but I'm not a literary fiction girly. So I'm going to put that down here. Animal Farm. I remember this one because this one was crazy. It was very good, but it was also mid. Again, had to read that in high school. That's why I know. Listen, Babel. I have talked about Babel, and it is amazing. Is it top tier for me? No. It's still 5 stars for me, but I loved it. It's absolutely fantastic. If you haven't read it yet, please go read it. Beach Read. It's on my TBR. I finally bought them. I bought both Beach Read and Book Lovers, as well as Happy Place, because I have seen everybody talk about it. Everybody says it's good, but I get a lot of people are like, it's like literary fiction, so I don't know if I'm gonna like it. but I have it. It's on my TBR. I will read it. Bunny. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Carrie Soto is back. Listen, get out. I don't like Taylor Jenkins Reid. Her writing style is not for me. Her stories suck for me. Don't like her books. I should probably no, get out, just because I will not read her books. So she's an out for me. Crying H Mart. I've heard of it. Probably not gonna read it. Sounds good. Probably not gonna read it. Not my style. Disorientation. Never heard of this book. Never heard of it. Gone Girl. Listen. This one, I watched the movie before I read the book, and I absolutely loved it. The book is obviously 10 times better, and is so good. It is such a mind fuck. If you've not read it, please, you need to. I'm glad my mom died. I have a really hard time because I almost want to read it. I don't really like biographies too much, but I've heard it's absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to put it on my TBR just in case. But I've really mixed emotions about this because it's about a parent dying, and I'm dealing with some stuff right now where I feel like it's too close, and I don't know if I can handle it, but maybe down the road, it's a TBR for me. In 5 years, I've heard of it, probably won't ever read it. It Ends With Us. Get the fuck out, Colleen Hoover. Listen, if you like Colleen Hoover, that's fine. I'm not going to yuck someone's yum. If you like, just like you like Taylor Jenkins Reid, do you like Colleen Hoover? That's fine. I do not like her books. Her writing is terrible for me, and her books are just they're the same story of just trauma dump, trauma bond, assault, just different things with different people's names. And for me, it's a no for me, dog. I will never read one of her books. That is a hard never. I tried with one of them, and I was like, this fucking sucks. Like, why is this so popular? But whatever. Teach their own. But get the fuck out of my bookshelf, okay? You will not touch these shelves. Little fires everywhere. This is a TBR because I saw the show and it was fantastic, and I definitely want to read that. No Longer Human. Never fucking heard of it. Remarkably Bright Creatures. This sounds actually really interesting, and I want to grab it. I've been seeing it at Barnes & Noble, and it looks really cute, but I've never read inside of it. Couldn't tell, but I think I may want to read it. 7 Days in June, I've heard is absolutely fantastic, and I do want to read that. Sharp Objects. This, it was mid for me. Still good. Not as good as Gone Girl for me, but still good. Like, you guys should check that one out. Song of Achilles. This is a get out for me, not because the writing's bad, but I'm not crying. I've talked about this on a few different videos. I don't like to cry with my books. I cry enough in life. Don't want to do it. So, we're not going to. I don't want to. But I've heard it's absolutely amazing. I've read other books from this author, but this one is a no for me. If I'm gonna cry, I don't want any part of it. No, I don't want it. The Island of Missing Trees. Never heard of it. Probably won't read it. The Light We Lost. Again, never heard of it. Probably won't read it. The Picture of Dorian Gray. We had to read this in high school. This was mid for me because don't fucking remember it, but I think it was okay. I remember watching a show, and now I can't remember what the show was, and Picture of Dorian Gray was a part of that show, and I loved it, but it had nothing to do with the book. So, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Get the fuck out. This is one I tried to read from this author, and I was like, this sucks. Like, I hate this. I'm having a terrible time. So I DNF'd that real fucking quick, and I was like, no, I'm good. Like, this is how I DNF. I try not to DNF. I try to give it as much of a chance as possible, but if I'm not enjoying myself, I'm not going to sit there and force myself to finish a book. That's just what it is. tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Heard absolutely amazing things. I want to read it. Yes. Turtle All the Way Down. Or Turtles All the Way Down. Again. Oh no. Not TBR. Get out. Literally, get out. Again, the whole crying aspect. I watched The Fault in Our Stars. Bawled my fucking eyes out. I'm not reading books by this man. I refuse. Where the Crawdads Sing. I do want to read this. I haven't watched the movie because I want to read this. Heard great things, but I've also heard the movie sucks. So, that's where it is. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I do want to read this. I've heard great things about this. I feel like a lot of this shit, like, first of all, struggling. I've not read anything. Everything I'm like, no. I refuse. A Little Life. This is also going to be a no for me, dog. I've seen people cry about this on Booktube, and no. I don't want any part of it. No. 1,000 Boy Kisses. This is a TBR, but I'm nervous about it. Because the crying aspect. I've heard mixed reviews, so but yeah, that would be a TBR because it's a romance. I always give a romance a chance unless it's Colleen Hoover or Taylor Jenkins Reid, which, let's be honest, Taylor Jenkins Reid is not romance. I think it's literary fiction. I think we can all agree on that. Maybe. Who knows? A Court of Thorns and Roses. Let's be fucking honest with ourselves. No, get up there. Listen. Scroll. It's top tier. It is top fucking tier. The series as a whole is amazing. The first book, it's mid. But everything goes up. But you know what it kind of went down for me was the A Court of Silver Flames, just because I don't really like Nesta. Nesta wasn't likable until like the very end of the book. So I had a hard time with that. But you know what? This is where we're at. Olivia Blake's Alone with You in the Ether. I do want to read this. I want to read it. You know what's funny? Never read Olivia Blake, and I have multiple of her books. So, Anxious People. I probably won't ever read this. Yeah, I probably won't ever read it just because, I don't know, it just doesn't sound interesting to me. It's another one of those like literary fictions where I'm like, like, do you guys know that TikTok that blew up where it's like that controversial, it's like, you don't read classics, you're a loser. I am that person who doesn't read classics. Or, well, that's not true. More so, I don't read literary fiction. It's very rare that I do. Just because it's not my cup of tea. It's very slow moving for me. I don't get a lot out of it because I like a good romance. I want them to be banging. So I have a hard time with it. It's very rare that I read literary fiction. So you won't catch much of that on here. Archer's Voice. That's going to be a get out for me because I've heard a lot of people cry about that. Yeah. I've heard a lot of people cry with those by that author, books by that author. No, thank you. I'm okay. Beartown, another one where I'm like, nope, not ever gonna read it. Thank you. Sally Rooney, Beautiful World Where You Are. I've heard of it, won't read it just because I read Normal People and it wasn't my cup of tea. You know why? It was literary fiction. This is not a surprise, okay? Before I Let Go. I've heard about it. I don't think I'll ever read it. So sorry. Before the Coffee Gets Cold. Never heard of it. By a Thread. By Lucy Score. Lucy Score has been an author for me that goes back and forth of if I want to read her or not. I've heard amazing people talk about her all the time, but my problem with it is that they're like, she's amazing, she's such a slow burn, and she has these chunky books. But I'm gonna put it on TBR just for the fact that I feel like I need to give her a chance. Because not like slow burns I don't really like, but sometimes it can be good. So I feel like I do need to give her a chance. Because most of my like Get Out, I've tried their books and I don't like. So Caraval. Surprise, I've read this one. I've read this one. This one was mid for me. So is it me, Jesus? Because honestly, it wasn't bad. I'm ready for the rest of the series. I think it can go up because I hated Donatella. Here are some spoilers. I did not like Donatella. I think she was selfish. And her sister needed to be like, go fuck yourself. That's how maybe I'm just like ruthless and I just have no heart, because I would have been like, nah bitch, you got yourself in this position. I'm out. And for this, I'm out. Carrie Soto is back. We already did that one, so I'm not going to do it again. Chain of Gold. I want to read Cassandra Clare. So I don't think there's any more Cassandra Clares on here, so I'm definitely going to put that on my TBR because I do want to read her. Because, yeah. Circe. Okay, you guys. So Circe I did like, but it was made for me. Isn't me, Jesus. I liked it, and that was it. It was forgettable for me. I read it last year, and it was forgettable for me. So. Okay. Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. This is going to be a get out. Because I didn't really like it. I did start this one, and I'm like, I'm okay. The show was shit, too. That's my opinion. Crescent City. TBR. This may be a hot take. Not a hot take. Controversial. I don't know. Not read it yet. I've not read either of the Crescent Cities, obviously. But I've been waiting for the third one to come out because that's the final one. And I've heard a lot of things. And it makes me nervous. So I haven't read it yet. Jane Austen. Don't know which one this is. I'm going to put it on Who just because it doesn't look like one I've had to read. And I've read most of Jane Austen because of school. So every summer after, I don't know what the fuck I just said. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This is going to be bombastic side-eye just because it doesn't sound great at all. There's nothing about that. I've heard everybody talk about how great it is. I'm like, that doesn't sound great to me. But thank you, though. Thank you. Everything I Know About Love. I've never heard about this book. I like the cover, though. From Blood and Ash. This may be a hot take. Fucking loved it. Okay, let's put it there for a minute. So this is definitely top tier. I loved it. A lot of people, I'm also going to readjust. A lot of people have opinions about this book. For me, it was one of the first romanticises I've ever read, and I absolutely fell in love with it. A lot of people hated the most recent book, which is The War of Two Queens, because they thought, there may be spoilers in this, but they thought the threesome or the bonding ceremony or whatever came out of nowhere, and I'm like, it didn't though. It's been leading to that for like 3 books. I don't know. I loved it. I'm going to continue to read it even though it's taking forever and a fucking day to end this. I think it doesn't need to be as long as it is, but that's just me. Still like it, we'll still read it. Funny you should ask, this will be on my TBR, though I've heard mixed reviews about it, and it makes me nervous, but I'm still going to try to read it, because I've heard good things. Heartstopper. I don't know if I want to read this, just because I'm pretty sure, isn't it like, it's almost like graphic novel, and I've never read graphic novel, but I don't know if I would like it. I've never, so I don't, never read graphic, oh gosh, I've never read graphic novel, and I feel like I can give it a chance, so I'll put it on TBR. Icebreaker. You guys, I don't know if I've even said it. Top tier. I love this fucking book. So, it's my top book. I love it so much. It is so good. I can't, It is so good. This will have spoilers, definitely. I read this book at least once a month. I read it in October, and I've read it at least once a month. I am so excited for the second book in this series to come out. Nate and Stassi, holy fuck. That cinnamon roll of a man is so good. Like, there's no third act breakup. It is just communication after healthy communication, and I love that. And it's spicy. Oh my god, I love it. I can't, if you've not read it, you need to fucking read it. Like, honest to God. It's so good. If we were, I don't know what that says. I've never heard about it, though. Never heard about this book. In the Dream House. Never heard about this book. Know My Name by Chanel, I think it's Chanel Miller. You guys, go up, please. Thank you. It is such a good book. I said before, I don't really like biographies. This one is completely different. I read this, so I don't think I've ever talked about it. I got my master's in criminal justice, criminology. What did I go to school for? Investigative criminology. And so I read a lot of true crime. I read a lot of just different things. She talks about her experience. She was the Jane Doe in the Stanford sexual assault trial case with the swimmer. Yes. And it is unbelievably moving. It is so moving. I listened to the audiobook and she reads it, and it's so good. Just her experience during trial, before, just how her life changed, and it's so unbelievably good. If you have not read it, if you have a interest in true crime or anything like that, this is definitely a book for you. But even just for I guess, like, in a sense of overcoming challenges and obstacles, this book is absolutely amazing. I can't say enough good things about it. So good. Legend Born. This is on my TBR. My friend bought this for me, and she keeps telling me to read it, and I just haven't. And I looked at it the other day, and it has the smallest print, and I'm like, what? Lessons in Chemistry. I think I will read this. I just don't know when. Christina Lauren, Love in Other Words. Listen, I've talked about in different videos, I love Christina Lauren. They are a auto buy for me, but this book is a no for me, dog. I tried to read it, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like the flow of it. I didn't like the story. I was like, no, I'm good. Thank you, though. Thank you. Thank you. I can't. Magnolia Parks. This is another Get Out, because fuck that. I've heard it's a lot. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to know. There's a hell of a lot of cheating trope in that, and I will fight somebody. I can't. No. I mean, a lot of people talk about how amazing it is. I'm like, that doesn't sound good. What kind of, like, I'm not rooting for any relationship that there's just main cheating, and it's just, no, fuck, there's no growing from that. No, I'm good. Thank you, though. Milk Fit. I've never heard of this book. Won't read it. My Dark Vanessa. I've heard it, but will not read it. There's not a reason for that. Purely just, no, I'm good. Thank you. This one, again, don't even know what it's called. Won't read it. Don't know it. Won't read it. Normal People. This is a Get Out for me because I didn't like it. Simple as that. Simple as that. November 9th. Again, get the fuck out of here, Colleen Hoover. Get out of my life. I hate it. On Earth, we're, what is it? Briefly Gorgeous. Never heard of it, obviously. Once Upon a Broken Heart. This is on my TBR. I'm very excited about this one. Our Missing Hearts. Never heard about it. Is it Pachinko? Never heard about it. I've seen the cover. I just don't know anything about it, and I don't want to. People We Meet on Vacation. I didn't pick this one up because this one didn't sound good to me. So I'm going to put it down here. This is Pride and Prejudice. We did have to read this. I had to read it so many fucking times, and it's bombastic side eye because I had to read it so many times in school. We get it. Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. If you're new to the channel, Penelope Douglas is a new hyperfixation for me, and I don't know if I have or not. I'm gonna put it on TBR because I can't remember if I have read like the blurb on it or not. So I'm gonna put it on there. Red, white, and royal blue. I've heard great things about it, but I don't know. I think I'll try it. I've never read anything by this author. I've heard great things though. My friend just finished it and said it was great. So maybe I'll give it a shot. Again, Colleen Hoover, get out! Get out of here. You can get out of here. Rock, Paper, Scissors. Yes, I definitely want to read. I've never read Alice Feeney. I've heard great things though. This one, never fucking heard of it. Scythe. I've heard about it. I'm gonna put it on TBR because maybe. Shadow and Bone, I definitely want to read. Shatter Me is on my TBR. Six of Crows is on my TBR. The Bell Jar, never fucking heard of it. Never heard of it. Book Thief. Can I talk? Book Thief. Heard of it. Don't want to read it. Killing the Game, you guys. Killing the Game. Let's see. Cruel Prince. TBR. Fine Print. Read it. And I'm putting it in bombastic side because it wasn't that great. Second book sucked even worse, so that's where we are with that. The Goldfinch, heard of it, don't want to read it. Kristen Hannah, bombastic side eye, purely for the fact that she's also a literary fiction, and that's not romance. No. I'm good, thank you though. Appreciate it. The Guest List. Yes, definitely want to check out Lucy Foley, Margaret Atwood, The Handmaid's Tale. I love the show. I definitely want to read it. The Hating Game. This was mid for me. It wasn't bad. Movie sucked. Wasn't bad. Kind of cheesy though. Kind of cheesy. House in the Cerulean Sea. Fan-frickin-tastic. So good. I love the characters. I listened to it on audiobook and it was so good. I need to read Under the Whispering Door. I think that's the other one. I need to read that one. I do like TJ Klune. That was a good one. The Housemaid. Yes, I want to read Frida McFadden. I've heard great things and I want to check her out. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I heard about it. Do not want to read it. There's no reason for that. There's no reason. The Kiss Quotient. I want to read it. Just haven't. Love Hypothesis. Also on my TBR. You guys, this is making me think I have too much on my fucking TBR. I need to read more. The Midnight Library. I've heard about it. Does not sound interesting to me. Kristen Hannah. Again, bombastic side eye. No thank you, ma'am. Enjoy your day. Lucy Foley, again, definitely want to check her out. Perfect Marriage, yes. One, I want to read her books just because I love her TikToks. Her TikToks are so funny. And her husband's amazing too. The Poppy War, yes. I loved Babel. I think I would love her. Or I love that book, yes. Prairie the Orange Tree. I don't know where to put this. I think I'm going to put it bombastic side because it's so fucking big. It's so big. I've heard great things, but it's so big. I don't know if I want it. Oh, I don't have that much left. The Secret History. Don't care to read it. A Selection. Don't care to read it. Silent Patient. It was mid. It was okay. Wasn't terrible. Wasn't the greatest. Spanish Love Deception. This is on my TBR too. The Starless Sea. Never fucking read it. The Unhoneymooners. This is bombastic. No, it's not. I'm gonna put it in. I can't go up. There we go. Is It Me, Jesus? Purely for the fact that it wasn't as spicy as I like Christina Lauren's books, and it was kind of slow. That's just all. The Virgin Suicides, never read it, will not read it. They both die at the end, probably won't read it, because that sounds like I'll cry. Things We Never Got Over, I'm going to put this in my TBR, because again, I want to give Lucy Score a shot. This Is How You Lose the Time War, never heard of it, probably won't read it. Throne of Glass, TBR, haven't read it yet. Haven't read any of them. Yeah. Tiny Beautiful Things, never fucking heard of it. Twisted Love, listen, if I can go back, that may be controversial, that may be a hot take, but I'm saying this as the entire series, the entire Twisted series. I liked the first book, a lot of people didn't. If you can get past the first book, that's great. If you can't, understand, but you can also you don't have to read the first book. The series was great. It's fantastic. My favorite, the second and fourth book. Why? Because Reese is fucking amazing. And the fourth book, just because he literally owned the building and he's like, yeah, pay whatever. It was so fucking cute. Colleen Hoover, again, get the fuck out of here. I can't. Get out. Where are you going? No, thank you, ma'am. Get out. Fuck your books. I may sound mean. This is just me. Don't mind me. I see her books too freaking much. I hate that when I walk in to Barnes & Noble, it is just thrown at me. And it's always funny. I went to Barnes & Noble the other day, and they were like, oh, do you need help? And I'm like, oh, I'm just looking for a new romance. I don't know. Have you read Colleen Hoover? I'm like, get out. Stop. I don't want any part of this. Untamed. I've seen it. Does not sound interesting to me. Vicious. This is mid. Second book sucked ass. But the first book wasn't bad. But it was forgettable. We Were Liars. I've heard about it. It's bombastic side eye because I don't think it looks great, doesn't sound great, and I don't get the hype. Because everything I've heard about it, I'm like, really? Okay. Daisy Jones and the Six. This is a get out for me because I DNF'd this one too. Didn't like it. Probably won't even watch the show. I'm okay. Everything I Never Told You, I think. Never heard of it. Will never. And of course we end with fucking Verity. Get out. Honestly. Just get out. So let's just look at this. We finished. Let's just look. We have 3 in the top tier. And I am happy about it. So we have Court of Thorns and Roses series, the From Blood and Ash series, and Icebreaker. Icebreaker is chef's kiss. If I have to pick top out of those 3, Icebreaker is it. Like, yes. That gave me anxiety. I don't know why. That all gave me anxiety. I can't. Probably because I have so much to freaking read. But I don't know. I don't know. That was my tier list or tier ranking of popular Booktok books of ones I've read, haven't read, refuse to read. That's what it is. That was a long video too. That gave me... I'm nauseous from doing that. That was a lot. That's a lot of books. I may have had some hot takes in there. Don't hate me. Again, if I talk badly about an author that you like, that is just purely my opinion. I will not yuck somebody's yum. If that is your type of author, that's totally fine. It's just not for me. I just don't know how, I don't have a filter for my mouth. So, but again, I don't care. Reading is about what you enjoy, what you find fun, what you love. I absolutely love certain genres, certain authors, certain writing types. I think we're all like that. I will never judge you based on the book you read. Will I side-eye about something? Maybe. But again, that's what you want to read. That's totally fine. I'm sure people think the same thing with books I like. That's totally fine. I will never come out and just be like, you read shitty ass books. Like, I won't do that. But yeah, so just that's my little PSA. So if I said something bad about an author that you absolutely love, that's purely me. If you love them, that's totally fine. For me, if I don't like your writing style, if I don't like their stories, if I don't like them, that's just what it is. But I don't care. I don't care what you guys read. I will still watch your video, even if it's about an author I don't really like. I don't care. This is all about, this is a circle of trust. We're talking about things. It doesn't matter. But that is my tier ranking. I'm excited that's done. But yeah, so if you guys like this video, please hit that like button, as well as comment down below if you thought a book should go somewhere else, or what you guys would rank things. I love talking to you guys on there, as well as link down in the description my Goodreads if you want to check up what I'm currently reading, and be friends, or want to follow me on there, by all means, as well as all my other socials will be down there. And I will put down there who made the tier ranking. So if you wanted to find it and do your own, I would love it. I love watching these tier ranking stuff. So I'm happy I finally get to do it. But until the next video, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.